Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the NFL Symphony. The world's foremost purveyors of gridiron art have been assembled to perform their unique disciplines for your edification and cultural refinement. They will be accompanied by the NFL Symphony Orchestra under the direction of Maestro Philippe Duquette. This will be an evening of the classics, with just a dash of avant-garde dissonance. You see, the unpredictability of this particular work is what makes it so appealing. No one is quite certain what will happen next, including the performers. Where else can one savor such marvelous modulation, such robust relevé, such elevated échappé, such appalling futilité? These virtuosos are versatile. From classic ballet to comic opera, they fall into many diverse roles, which they handle with aplomb. NFL technique may seem a bit irregular to purists, yet one must admire the enthusiasm with which they present themselves. I beg you not to be overly critical of form, texture, or tone color. Simply relax and delight in the NFL Symphony. Every symphony needs a conductor, someone to set meter, pitch, and cadence, a place to turn in moments of doubt for kind words of reassurance.
The snap count's on 2, you big dummy.
Oh. The quarterback is just such a commander, leading by word and deed. Oops. He is a pathfinder through enemy territory.
Whoa!
A helmsman around whom the crew rallies.
Oh, boy.
The calm in a sea of confusion.
Help me!
He is the quarterback. The man with a plan, as it were.
What?
These precious quarterbacks must be protected by a cast of lesser players, known as offensive linemen or punching bags. These poor devils take a fearful thrashing in the course of their duties, yet they are far from the dumb brutes they appear to be. Subtle, nearly hidden methods of retaliation have been created. A favorite is the 5-fingered minuet. It is performed by firmly grasping an opponent, then waltzing about until the play ends, or said opponent starts swinging.
Young men ever rehearse?
Why, of course they do, madam. And very often they perform just as they rehearse.
Why, this is disgraceful. These gentlemen are paid enormous salaries to eliminate just such behavior.
Madam, I believe they are doing the very best they can. It's sometimes the ball that refuses to cooperate.
Catch it!
Shocking. Oh, my. Oh. Oh, for shame. absurd.
The only hope is to continue rehearsals, I suppose.
And to think I bet $20 on these turkeys.
To restore a semblance of order, one in authority must step forward. This is the official, or referee, or blind zebra, or as the players call him, the twit. His primary function is to make absolutely certain that nothing is allowed to interfere with the flow of the performance. Occasionally, one of these unobtrusive gentlemen wishes to send a message. This is cleverly done by throwing a small, yellow hanky. Needless to say, performers have the utmost respect for officials and their small, yellow hankies. Of course, the servile players are forever quick to retrieve these hankies and return them respectfully to their owners. We are often asked, what does go on in the huddle? Now, for the first time, it can be revealed. The coloraturas of the NFL Opera Company are preparing their voices, applying makeup, and assuming their finest dramatic poses for a performance of the Zone Defense Cantata by the noted Floridian composer Schuller. They take the stage before an audience which includes Italian opera critic Dante Paravati. The first act opens with plots against the evil prince Red Dog.
Slot right. Split left. Trap block. Quick pitch on two.
Later in the first act, ineptitude destroys the army's morale, and each man seeks an excuse for his own imperfections.
Slippery, and the sun is in my eyes. As Arlequin, I think I pulled my hamstring. Ripagliato e ognun and mighty hurts. Tramutallati al spasmo ed il pianto in una smorfia effigiata e dolor ripagliato sulle she's a god.
Now we move to Act 3, as expatriate soldiers attempt to send messages to their worried mothers.
Larga e cotton delicita. Hi, Mom. Number one, number one, number one. Look! Presto bottega che la vita. Hi, Mom. Number one, number one. One. E fortunatissimo per verità. La 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 la, la 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 la. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mom. Abro Figaro, bravissimo. Abro Figaro, bravissimo. Adi fortuna te, fortuna non mancherà. Hi, Mom. We're number one. Hi, Mom. We're number one. We're number one. We're number one. We're number one.
Hey, Mom!
The handshake is smashing, we all must agree, to demonstrate friendship and group repartee. It all started quite simply, a straightforward grip. Then came variations to show sportsmanship. Now it's out of control in the old NFL. All the outrageous ways to wish someone well. There's soul shakes and high slaps and give me some skin, till one simply can't tell what is out and what's in. It's come to a point, if a new man turns pro, he doesn't know when to shake high or shake low. Say, good show, old chap, and avoid the mishap.
Ouch!
Have you ever noticed, class, how like Greek mythology the NFL is? For example, running backs are modern-day Mercuries. Veritable messengers of the gods, as it were. Just as Mercury served those on Mount Olympus, runners are entrusted with the game's most prized possession, the ball, then asked to defend it with their very lives. Why, even the runner's various methods of advancing towards goal can be considered mercurial. That is to say, characterized by rapid and unpredictable changes in style. You may feel I have stretched this analogy, class, but I think not. A running back's task is the same as Mercury's, to carry the mail. The next movement of the symphony blends grace and agility of the backs with raw animal power of the linemen. Large, vulgar men, who are usually not allowed out in mixed company. They are all members of the NFL Ballet Ensemble, a bizarre yet finely tuned troupe under the direction of ballet master Pierre Plié.
Stretch, more movement, be supple, my darlings.
Monsieur Plié has personally shaped his men for this moment, and as he unwinds on the sideline, they nervously await their cue to begin the beautiful black and blue Danube. life as an NFL ballet aficionado has its drawbacks, sorry to say. Because indoor productions are rare, inclement weather can be a bit inconvenient for those with thin blood, and most irritating for one in charge of wardrobe. But worst of all is footing on stage. Classical ballet takes quite a beating, I'm afraid. Nureyev would never approve. Still, the fellows jolly well give it their best under the circumstances. I think it's bloody disgraceful when some cheeky fans display their ignorance by pelting the poor lads with snowballs all the way to their dressing quarters. For our finale, we take you to stadiums all across this nation, where week after week, capacity crowds are lured by America's greatest game. Here, players and fans have a chance to personally conduct the NFL Symphony. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much. Thank you. I am your narrator, Bruno Parfait, and over there are others who contributed, like special music editing by Jeff Earhart and voices by the Fellowship Road Players with Carolyn O'Donnell. No, I'm not done yet. Back to the credits. Behind the scenes, we have Dick Dufresne and Art Spieler. Associate producer Stanley Leschner, spending John Mullen's money. Music department, Rhythmace Phil Spieler. Director of photography, Ernie Ernst, and number one son, Howie Neath. In charge of production, Mike Adams and his merry men and ladies, Vicki Denenberg, Doris Abelson, Paul Lerman, John Bell, Ed Dents, Tom Grafe, Bill Gray, Laura Labar, Hank McKelwee, Jack Newman, Jack Nicholson, Don Paravati, Dave and Kathy Paul, Kenny Smith, and Jay Gerber. Over there is America's editor-in-chief, Bob Ryan, while out front is producer Steve Sable, semi-flamboyant son of the boss, Ed Sable. Big Ed keeps close watch on his son, and also the kid from Utah who wrote and directed the NFL Symfunny. That's Phil Tuckett. And need I even mention what made it all possible?